just a note for you, a question of sorts, since we're just asking questions these days. Candace Owens has clearly violated her NDA agreement with TPUSA both before and after they sent her a cease and desist. And I, for one, feel that they should sue her socks off for defamation regardless. So the question is, will they take additional legal action against her? And if so, are they waiting until the current murder trial reaches a verdict? Makes sense, right? Might want to see how it plays out. I realize that Candace will try to play the victim either way, but she needs to be held accountable, to say the least. So, long story short, and I will pull up this Grok question answer for you. I asked this question, and Grok provided the answer. But yes, long story short, this whole time Candace Owens has been disparaging TPUSA, pretty much everyone in leadership, so on and so forth. She has been bound by a non-disparagement agreement, which has carried over from a previous speaking contract, which expired not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken. But, of course, the disparagement portion, or the non-disparagement portion, agreement, is still supposedly supposed to be an agreement. And, yeah, that went right out the window, did it not? So, Candace Owens breached the rules, the terms and conditions of that, and then some. I mean, much of what she has said about them goes far beyond breaching that, but it's worth noting, and she didn't really note it for the longest time. I mean, she talks about lie by omission a lot. Well, people didn't really seem to know about this until she read out part of their cease and desist on her podcast. I'm not going to play any of that right now. I'm just going to read through this. Yes, Candace Owens had, and reportedly still has, obligations under a non-disparagement agreement with Turning Point USA. Multiple credible reports from January 2026 indicate that TPUSA sent Owens a cease and desist letter accusing her of violating a non-disparagement clause in her prior agreement with the organization. Let me see if I can enlarge this text anymore. My face might be in the way. Oh well. This stemmed from her public comments and conspiracy theories related to the September 2025 assassination of TPUSA founder Charlie Kirk, including implications of TPUSA involvement or cover-up. Owens herself read excerpts of the letter on her podcast, confirming she signed an agreement, often described as an NDA, with a non-disparagement provision that prohibited any disparaging, false, misleading, or otherwise defamatory comments about TPUSA and or its employees, agents, directors, officers, affiliates, programs, or services. Yes, this is an AI response, by the way, but you could just look this up for yourself if you don't believe me. I have done so. This is just the easiest way to lay it out for you as concisely as possible. The main agreement term ended around December 2 of 2025, following the end of her speaking contract or separation. But the non-disparagement obligation reportedly survived for 12 months after, meaning it would remain in effect until approximately December of 2026. TPUSA's letters, including one dated December 2 of 2025 and a follow-up in January of 2026, demanded she cease such comments, particularly those suggesting TPUSA or staff played a role in Kirk's death. Who knows what she might argue in response to this, other than that she's the victim somehow. Even in Charlie Kirk's assassination, she's somehow the victim. Main character syndrome, to say the least. She might say, well, since the leader of Turning Point USA was assassinated, the contract is null and void, or something like that. She may not recognize Erika Kirk as the legitimate leader of Turning Point USA, though she initially said she was glad Erika Kirk took over, only to turn around and say that she had no business being widowed into the position. Take that for what it's worth. I don't think any of those factoids are particularly relevant, legally speaking, but I just thought I would ponder for a moment. Now back to the pontifications of Grok. This has been widely discussed in conservative media expos and outlets covering the feud. That's one word for it, I suppose. References to Owens being legally cooked if sued for breach. I would agree. At least she should be, but we'll see. Maybe they're building a case. Maybe they're just letting the current murder trial play out so that the public will know for once and for all the truth of the matter, which should already be obvious to everyone with half a brain. Maybe they just don't want the potential conflicts of two ongoing trials interfering or even intersecting with each other. A number of reasons why they may not want to sue her for defamation right now or whatever legal action they may have planned. Maybe they're just allowing her to bury herself, metaphorically speaking. Keep in mind, in the meantime, she's raising as much money as possible off of her podcast. Maybe she'll be able to afford the legal fees either way. Regardless, Owens has publicly dismissed or mocked the claims but acknowledged the clause's existence while arguing it shouldn't apply under the circumstances. And there's a note here at the bottom about the exact contract terms not being public. But I gotta go. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Peace. It's also worth noting that Candace Owens was given every opportunity in the world to cease and desist, but navigated her way around it all. I mean, she said herself that if she was told to stop by Erika, she would stop. But did Candace stop? No. She said, I ain't never gonna stop.
I don't think
So it's safe to say she deserves any legal action which happens to come her way. That and then some.